Hello.
Yo, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Good. What are you doing?
Just chilling out, just working on a few bits and bobs, and yeah, just got a few questions.
Oh, I've lost you. I've lost you. Can you hear me? I've lost your sound. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, go on, then, mate. Let's fire away.
Okay, so yeah, we've got a few quick fire questions for you. So let's get those up, and yeah, we'll see what we've got. Are you ready for them?
Yes, mate.
To be honest,
Yes.
they're mostly about getting to know you and getting a bit of understanding of some of the information that you've got for us who are mountain bikers learning to always improve. So the first question is from Adam Biggins, and he wanted to get an understanding of
Adam, yes. Sorry, what was the question?
yeah, how did you get into coaching?
Um, the truthful answer is I was doing it before I set up as a business. So I kept kind of helping people and then I won't mention any names, but someone told me that I couldn't do it, and it was just like I had just fuel in my belly, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go and do it, and I'm going to prove to people that I can do it, and that's one of the big reasons why I just thought, sod it, I'm going to do it. And I came out of hairdressing to do this. It has been a bit of a roller coaster. But yeah, that was one of the big reasons why I went and did it and proved to people that I could do it. Because I got wrote off at the start, I was never amazing at racing, and I think with racing, that's how you'll judge as a mountain biker is by your race results. I never had a mentality for racing, but
Yeah,
I've got the mentality to be a coach.
yeah, because
A bit
racing you
different.
have to be very focused. You have to not because I know a lot of mountain bikers are decent bikers, but when you put them in the race situation, they struggle a little bit.
I've never been the fittest, mate. I've always liked fish and chips and just McDonald's. I love McDonald's. I'm like Anderson that played for Man United, but I'm not Brazilian.
No, no problem. How long has it been? How many years has it been that you've been coaching?
Um, I'm gonna say, well, I started it off about 4 years ago, but we had the lockdown, so 2 years has been completely solid, completely solid. Practically my full-time job. But I started 4 years ago. you know, I've learned a lot about business. I would still say that's my biggest weakness is actual business. I'm not great at business, but I'm a good coach. So,
Fair play.
but yeah, about 4 years when I first started out.
Fair play. So, second question: why do you think coaching is important? Because what we have in mountain biking, we quite different to other sports. If you play football or you play tennis, badminton, pretty much any other sport, if you want to improve or take it seriously, every other sport really recommends coaching. And it's something that's growing in mountain biking now. Obviously, I come from a sporting background myself, having studied it. So, for me, coaching has always been important. But from your perspective, why do you think it's important? What is your message to mountain bikers on that perspective?
Before I was coached, I thought I knew what I was doing. I generally, in my hearts of hearts, I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I can do this. I can do that. And when I got coached, I went away and I was like, I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. And all the stuff that I, picked up from mates, usually a mate called Dave, put your weight back, man. Do this, do that. It was just all wrong, And I reckon there's probably, you're looking probably 2 or 3 years difference between a coach rider and a non-coach rider, in my personal opinion. But we're such, in my opinion, we're such a backwards sport. If you look at when I played football, you'd have a midweek game in the summer, and then you'd have a weekend game, and then you have five-a-side, and then you'd have coaching midweek. What do? We go to McDonald's as mountain bikers in the morning, don't even stretch, get the first uplift, and then Mach 10 down, and then we realise, well, we're in our 30s now, and we wonder why we're crippled with injuries, and it's, it is important, and do you know what? There's only 2 genuine regrets I've got in my life, and that's not spending enough time on a hardtail as a kid, and the other thing is not getting coached in my 20s. and not listening to people in my 20s. That's my only regret I have in cycling.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I've got another question from a user or one of the followers. Tom, he wanted to know what's the best way to learn a new skill.
Learn off people know what we're doing. I find when you watch YouTube, like if I'm going to do a video on YouTube, I'm not going to give out everything. You know, it's a bit like how a drug dealer approaches people, where they give people a little bit, and then you want more, and that's what that's basically what the way that's the way I think about it, you know. But you got to learn off people who know what they're doing, and people that can explain it well. If they can't explain what you're doing, it's.
So do you think, I mean, this is one of the things, because obviously when I first started mountain biking, you like you said, you get information from people and everyone will give you a slightly different way of doing something. Do you think...
I will stop you there a minute, right? There's no right and wrong way of doing things. It's just... This is where it gets, a little bit complex and stuff, is like there isn't a right or wrong way of doing things. But let's do it the easy way. Let's not make big movements. Let's do it, keep it simple, and if you keep it simple, it's a bit like boxing where, you might get, like a 9-stone kid that can box, and then you get like a 20-stone-year-old bloke that's been a street fighter who takes massive big swings at it. We just want to make little movements, but there isn't a right or wrong way of doing it. There's, this is one of the things that I struggled with as a coach, is one coach would do it another way. Another coach would, they'd preload there, they'd do this. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. But there's no right way. It's how your perception is of mountain biking. And that took me a long time to, really think about, because you do as a coach, you always think you're right. But let's also do it a different way. There's different ways of doing things.
That makes sense.
Hang on, I've just got a message off a pro rider.
You've got a name drop.
Oh, no, I can't. I'm not. So I was hoping it was going to be a question, but it's not. She said, "Sorry, I'm in the French Championships at the moment, so
fair enough.
I can't. Right, okay."
Onto equipment, because a lot of the questions coming up are now about equipment and learning. So the next one, and something that comes up a lot, like I see it a lot on Facebook. I'm in all the Facebook groups. Does a more expensive bike or parts help you develop skills better? Now, that's not to say it'll make you a better rider. Do you think having a more expensive bike and better parts help you to become a better rider?
If you know what you're doing, yeah. I'll let you into a little secret. I'll let you into a little secret. So I bought, I'm not going to tell what brand it was, but I bought a bike for £2,000, thinking I didn't need a more expensive one. And after 6 weeks, the wheel set was completely trashed. I mean, like all the pulls and everything was just completely smashed. And then the forks, I couldn't get them quick enough. We tried more oil. We tried a different damper. So it depends what level you're at. If you're getting into it, you don't need a good bike. You just need something that's going to keep you safe. As someone who's racing, yeah, you probably do need a better bike. But there's no right or wrong way. I can't just say, oh, you got to get this bike, you got to get that bike. Get what you can afford. Also, I look at, if you can't afford it, look at secondhand stuff. As long as it's not absolutely battered, get what you can afford. Get the best thing you can, what you can afford.
Perfect. Cheers. Okay, so the next question is from Ashley. Ashley's got a problem. Keeps losing grip on the front wheel. It skids out a lot on them and end up with a massive bruise. So what can I do to fix that problem? I
know exactly who you're on about. At the moment, he's running summer tyres. I think they're like a Maxxis Icon. So I did reply to him before and said, look, mate, just get yourself a Magic Mary. The other thing, make sure that you weight in the front. Make sure you've got your chin over the stem. A lot of riders, what they'll do is they'll put the weight too far back, and they'll get front end slips. Look at your body as if it's like traction control in a car. Put that weight where you need it, basically. But also, get yourself, especially this time of year, end of September, you're definitely going to need a Magic Mary, on the front. I swear by them. That's my personal preference. That's what I've run for years. What's that?
You know what I run.
Well, what do you run? Contis.
Yeah.
I've heard good reviews. I've heard like really good reviews on the Contis, so I can't.
Do you know?
I can't.
Love a Magic Mary. I've only changed recently because obviously Bike Supply Drop we sell Continental tires and we sell Strawberry tires. I like to try everything on the market personally.
But they rejected me for a sponsorship deal.
Really?
Sure we didn't. Sure we didn't. So a big shout out to Schwalbe Tires UK. I honestly I play cricket against them as well. Honestly I can't thank them enough. They've been so kind to us.
Liam in the comments is saying Big Betty on the front, which is rather controversial, I think.
Well, you can. There's no right or wrong answer. I've never run a Betty on the front. I've always run a Mary. That's just what I run. Winter I run a Betty on the rear and I run a Mary on the front. And then summer I'll run a hands down from the back. But there's no right or wrong way of doing it. If you think the Betty's the best thing to do, get the Betty on the front. I've not done it, but maybe we can do a video with doing that. See what the Betty's like in the winter.
Yeah, that's a big shout, especially as it's about to get really wet.
Yeah, definitely. But with tyre choice, get the best tyre you can. For the right conditions, basically.
Cool.
Winter tyres.
Yeah. I mean, I'm running a particular tyre. I think I'm going to change coming into the autumn. I never actually used to change tyres, but I think this year.
Honestly, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. It really is.
A good bike setup as well as having good body and stuff.
Yeah, right. Right tyre pressures. I'll run 22 in the front. E-bike, I run 25 in the front. The rear, I always run 30. I've done that for years. The moment you switch off from that, is you're just going to end up, replacing your rims, ripping tyres. So it happens.
Yeah, and Liam said that in the comments as well. Just a shout out to Mike Green, who's just mentioned that he's booked in review with a friend for the 15th or 16th. So
yeah,
nail some jumps and drops. So the next question is from who have we got? We've got Cher on the next question. When learning to
not the singer.
No, not the singer.
No.
I'd be a bit concerned if Cher was learning to lift the front wheel. But yeah, the question is, we're learning to lift the front wheel. How do you get over that fear of loop out? Because, and Cher, I actually feel your pain because I still can't manual myself because I hate that feeling of going backwards. So how do you get over that feeling?
Well, firstly is not looking at fear as a negative. We all really look at fear as negatives. If you flip that and look at it as fear as a positive, and the way I look at fear, not I'm trying to say that I'm hard on it because it's not, but the way I look at fear on a bike is all fear is your own mind preparing your body to get ready. And if you look at it that way, I'm scared of heights, I'm petrified of heights, but if you have that mindset, you'll give it a go. The other thing, if we got to remember, if your head drops, the front wheel will drop. Can you hear me? Or have I lost you? Oh, we've lost Lorian. So what we'll do, we will get back in. We're getting back in. Hang on. It's probably his battery's died. He always has rubbish batteries on his iPhone. Two seconds. Just waving at a few people. Are you back, mate?
Yeah, yeah. You can tell how much I use my phone because battery ran out.
I said that would be the case. Always a case of your battery. See, you always tell me to get an iPhone, but then it doesn't hold charge for.
I use my phone for everything. So I've just been on it most of the day. So yeah, I'm back in here. So do you want to carry on where you were?
Yeah, what was I saying?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, so the question is basically, don't look at fear as negative. Fear is your own mind preparing your body to get ready. Okay. What you've also got to think about with picking the front end up is not letting that head drop. Your head's the heaviest part of your body. You want to make sure that your head is keeping, looking through that front wheel, not looking at the floor, and just basically give it a go. Make sure that you're covering your back brake, your left hand brake, unless you're American, and just make sure that don't be scared of it. Just give it a go. And timing the bike is important. Doing, challenge yourself. Making sure that you're just giving it a good go with all your drills.
Mm-hmm. And that sort of then leads on to the next question, right? Regarding drills and fear of looping out. Do manual machines have any benefit at all in terms of helping out with this?
No, not at all. Hello. No, I don't. No. The thing is, if you're manual, you're moving, aren't you? It's a stationary thing, and what people do is they'll pull. A manual's a push, not a pull, and everybody on a manual machine pulls up. They pull the bars to the boobs, and they look like a T-Rex. It just for me, they don't work. For how much they are, you'd be better off, getting a coaching session, but not either with me or with somebody else, and learn the proper technique, not just guess. It doesn't work.
And that also then leads on to the next question from James, and that was about the ramps you can buy at home. Not going to drop any brands in, but home ramps, the ones you can put on your back and stuff like that. Are they good for home practice, for practicing your jumping, or again, would you what's your suggestion in those circumstances?
For kids, yeah, but it's a bit of a toy. I've seen here manual machine must be great for core strengthening, mate. Get yourself a Honda 450. That'd be good for core, And then when your eyeballs hurt, I don't think
Mike wants to kill himself on an enduro bike.
When your eyeballs hurt, right, and you think they're going to roll out your head, that's good for your core. But no, I don't think. See, when I'm doing a manual, I don't feel my stomach muscles. It doesn't. I'm not pulling. I'm not doing that pull movement. I'm pushing. For me, it doesn't. For me, it doesn't work. But I'm not gonna write off people getting them. But my opinion, it's just an opinion, basically. With those foldy up jumps, yeah, they're okay. I don't personally think they're worth the money. I think they're like 250 quid.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But they're very light and they're very. They're so practical, but for adults, no. Just get yourself down to your local trail centre, and you're better off sessioning. Get it wrong, go back again. Find a jump that's safe, give it a go. Don't just go out and spend 200 and some quid on a little ramp that you're going to put in the street. Get yourself to if it's your local woods, go and build one. You have more fun building one than you would spending that much money on something like that,
Yeah, I do agree, to be fair. I mean, some of these things do cost easily 100 quid. That is easily a coaching session. You get more from a session than you would get from a ramp. And of course, you get the ramp over and over and over again, or the manual machine over and over and over again. But what you should take from the coaching session is long-lasting information that you can.
Oh, yeah, it's a game changer.
It's a value perception thing. I think people need to understand there's a value difference between, I think people don't see the value in buying something that can physically touch and the information that they're getting that they take away with them. So, yeah, hopefully that's...
It's like holiday on a new car, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. You go on holiday for a week and you might think to yourself, well, I could have bought a new car for this.
You
But
never
then
get
I've got the
time,
memories.
yeah.
I've got the memories of somewhere new and somewhere nice, somewhere beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a Vauxhall Astra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
Vauxhall. Yeah, I think we both own a Vauxhall.
I have a Vauxhall van, but I changed a badge on it because I didn't like the badge.
So you've got 2 more questions left just to end the sesh. Skinny Mick. So, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
24 mile an hour, Mick. 24 mile an hour. So if he wants to ask me some harder questions, then, you know, fire away.
And the last one, incidentally, has come from your missus. And she said, when are you going to get off live? And when are you going to clean the house?
I'm probably going to have to go and do that now, mate, to be honest.
No, fair.
Yeah.
I think,
I've got a day off, and yeah, I've probably got to go and clean the house now.
Yeah, I think missus just expect the house to be clean. If you're at home, and even if you're working and you're at home, they still expect the house to be clean. So
yeah, modern day man, eh?
Yeah. So just a last shout out, just for anyone else still that's joined us on the live. Daryl Laidler, he was the brand owner of Stoked, based up in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's been diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer, and he's taking part in the Shine Walk Newcastle, and that's in aid of cancer research. So just want to shout out for Daryl, and Jonathan's going to post the link in a future post somewhere just to help donate. We know times are tough at the moment, but it'd be helpful to donate to good cause and to help a fellow mountain biker. I think Liam's got one more that he wants to.
I don't know. Look, can I just go back to the other one, please? Obviously, with the guy from Stoked, he was a rival brand to me when I set up Mud Roost. He took it a little bit more to the next stage. You know, he had people like Scotty Mears racing for him, ex-World Cup rider. He had Joe Young, you know, phenomenal rider, you know, riding for them. And I think last year he closed the doors to Stoked. I didn't ask why. But, you know, we find out news, you know, he's a fellow mountain biker. I wish him all the best. I've actually offered him, when he gets better, to come and ride down in Wales, and I will coach him free of charge. And obviously, if anyone can afford to donate to the link that we'll put through, then, you know, please do so. But obviously, you know, wish you all the best, mate. And, you know, you're always a phone call away if you need to, you know, ring us up if you're having a fucking shite mare. Just give us a ring, mate, basically.
Nice. Yeah. So
what was the last question, mate?
It was Liam in the comments. He just got one. He wants to know what creates momentum.
Keep your head up, using you as suspension, and obviously using your suspension as well. One of the best things to do on a mountain bike is obviously if you've got uplifts, is take your chain off. Take your chain off, and you've got to fight. And you've got to, you know, you kind of think, right, okay, I've got to get through this trail, right, and use me. You got no pedals. You know, you can still hop if you know if you clipped in, but use that to get momentum. You know, feel it. You know, I did it probably 10 years ago at Glen Tress for the first time, and I was like, now I understand it. Now I started to understand mountain biking because, you know, I'm using me and just a bike, no chain, and that's all you've got. You go what you've got, and you get down the hill as quickly as possible. And I tell you what, you're probably not far off with a chain. If you know, especially if you're a bit pissed off about it, if you have snapped your chain, you know, as long as it's got a bit of a, you know, gradient, you'll get down it fine. But honestly, one of the best things to do is take your chain off, and, you know, use you to get down a trail.
Okay.
Have you got any questions, Laurie, at all? Have you got any questions, personal ones to me?
No, do you know what? I've pretty much had everything. I've thrown mine in between, so some of those might have been answered in between. But you know, for me, obviously, you know, all my parts that I've got to work on, and we've got a coaching session coming up soon.
We have. We have.
I feel sorry for you because I'm definitely going to be your worst ever student.
You got any Valium?
Huh?
Your Valium?
Oh, mate, I'm going to be a worse student. But if you can coach me, then you can coach anyone. So yeah. But no, thanks so much for
Challenge.
inviting me on the call, pal.
No, thank you for taking like 25 minutes out of your day, and let's hope your boss doesn't see it.
Yeah, no. Imagine if he's watching right now. To be fair, I do get afternoon breaks, so. Yeah.
Well, exactly. I'm not sure it's 25 minutes though, is it?
Depends on if I've taken one in the morning or not.
Oh, there you go, man. Right, mate. I will get back to my day, and thank you ever so much for for speaking to me.
No worries, mate. No worries. Catch you
later.
Cheers, mate. Bye bye.
Cheers, mate. See you soon. Bye bye. Right, so that was obviously the end of our questions. If anybody has got some questions quickly, I will answer them. If not, I will be going back to hoovering the house and keep the missus happy. Has anybody got any questions quickly before I go?